family. For many, it's the people you turn to for love, support, and belonging. But what happens when your family becomes a source of stress, conflict, or even emotional pain? What if the very people you're supposed to trust are the ones who make you feel the worst about yourself? You might be dealing with a toxic family dynamic. It's hard to accept, but sometimes the people closest to us can be the ones who cause the most harm. In today's video, we're going to discuss 10 signs of a toxic family and how you can protect your well-being and take control of your life. So, if you've ever felt like something was off in your family but didn't know how to put it into words, or maybe you've been struggling to set boundaries but aren't sure how, this video is for you. Stick with me until the end because you'll learn not only how to identify these harmful patterns, but how to break free from them. 1. Constant criticism and judgment. First up, constant criticism and judgment. We all need constructive feedback from time to time, but in a toxic family, it feels like nothing you do is ever good enough. Whether it's about your career, appearance, or life choices, the criticism is relentless. The best way to handle this is by setting clear boundaries. Politely but firmly express that you won't accept harsh criticism, and let them know that feedback should be constructive, not hurtful. If they continue, distance yourself from these conversations and seek support from people who encourage you. 2. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious forms of emotional abuse. It's when someone makes you question your own perception of events, denying things they've said or done, or telling you that you're overreacting or too sensitive. Over time, this erodes your confidence and self-trust. To counter gaslighting, trust your instincts. Write down events or conversations so you can refer back to them if someone tries to manipulate the truth. And if you can, limit your exposure to people who regularly gaslight you. Remember, your feelings and experiences are valid. 3. Emotional manipulation. Another sign of a toxic family is emotional manipulation. This could be guilt-tripping, playing the victim, or making you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. It can be subtle at first, but it can quickly become draining and unhealthy. Recognize when you're being manipulated and stand firm in your boundaries. If someone tries to guilt-trip you, calmly state how their behavior makes you feel and set limits on what you're willing to tolerate. You don't have to carry the emotional weight of others. 4. Favoritism in families can cause deep emotional scars. If one child is consistently favored over others, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and resentment. While you can't control your family's actions, you can control your reaction. Focus on self-love and validation. Remind yourself that your worth is not determined by comparisons. Talk to your family about how this dynamic makes you feel if possible. If not, consider limiting time with those who perpetuate favoritism. 5. Lack of support. A healthy family celebrates each other's successes and provides support through tough times. But in toxic families, your accomplishments may be ignored, dismissed, or even downplayed. Seek support outside your family. Build a network of friends, mentors, or even online communities where you're celebrated. If possible, express how their lack of support affects you, but don't depend on their approval to feel good about yourself. 6. Toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is when family members dismiss real struggles with over-the-top optimism, telling you to just think positive or get over it. While optimism can be helpful, ignoring real emotions only invalidates your experiences and can make you feel even more alone. Be honest about your feelings. It's okay to say, "I need to be heard, not fixed." Set boundaries by expressing that you want support that acknowledges the reality of the situation, rather than superficial positivity. 7. Controlling behavior. Toxic families often exhibit controlling behavior, where one or more family members try to dictate everything from your career choices to your relationships or even your hobbies. This kind of behavior can suffocate you and prevent you from developing your own identity. Assert your independence. Politely but firmly stand your ground and be clear about your needs and desires. Establish healthy boundaries by setting limits on how much influence they have in your personal decisions. 8. Violating boundaries. Respecting personal boundaries is key to healthy relationships. If your family continuously oversteps, Whether it's snooping through your things, calling without respect for your privacy, or demanding personal information, it can lead to frustration and resentment. Set clear, firm boundaries and stick to them. Let your family know what's off limits and be consistent about enforcing these boundaries. Respect for personal space is non-negotiable, and it's okay to enforce that. 9. Unresolved family drama. Unresolved conflicts often fester in toxic families. If fights are never addressed or swept under the rug, the tension can be unbearable, and trust erodes. Address conflicts directly but calmly. If everyone is willing, consider family therapy to work through ongoing issues. If not, protect your peace by not engaging in drama that doesn't serve your well-being. Lastly, lack of accountability. A toxic family often lacks accountability. When things go wrong, they blame everyone else instead of owning their mistakes. This can make it feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, never knowing who's at fault. Be clear and direct about what you expect from others. Hold your own boundaries and be willing to walk away from conversations or situations that don't allow for accountability. Protect your mental health by not internalizing other people's failures. Dealing with a toxic family is incredibly challenging, and it's not something that can be fixed overnight. But the first step is recognizing the patterns that harm you, and then taking control of your own emotional and mental well-being. Remember, you don't owe anyone your peace. Setting boundaries, seeking support, and focusing on self-love are the keys to breaking free from toxic dynamics. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share and subscribe for more advice on living a healthier, happier life.